Alright, I waited long enough. It's time to start tearing the motor and trans out of the car and get the new motor swapped in. Alright, first things first, we're going to get the oil drained, trans drained, and the coolant drained out of this thing. Stuff drain. We'll start tapping some stuff under the hood loose. We're going to do the battery, the computer, some of the wiring, fuel lines. On these F-bodies, got 4 connectors right here. You can undo these and just lay this whole harness over. Now we gotta get the computer itself out. Down in here, the harness goes into under the dash, and you have to go up underneath the dash and disconnect a couple connectors. Alright, these 2 connectors are up underneath the dash, so you'll have to take the paneling out. You got 4 screws over here you gotta take loose. This should pop up and out. The 2 connectors we gotta take loose are these 2 right here. Let's go back under the hood. Harness is out of the car, so we're done on the inside. Alright, on mine I don't have any factory fuel line, so I have this PTFE braided fuel line. And back in here, I'll have to take mine loose right here, and then take it loose right here, and then the fuel system is disconnected from the engine. And it's probably going to spray a little. Not that bad. Alright, since we're dropping the K-member out, we're going to have to disconnect the brake lines. The one you're going to want to disconnect is this one right here, and this one on the back. Alright, my ground's up here. Gotta take this ground loose. don't forget to put your ground back on. Then we're going to take this hose right here loose to vent the coolant since it's connected to the engine. Sometimes these hoses get stuck. Alright, now we're going to take the charge pipe off. Air intake temp sensors. Kind of work this back and forth, break it loose. Now we're going to undo radiator hoses. Alright, don't forget about your heater hoses and your lower radiator hose. Don't forget about your brake booster hose. Just leave that connected to the back of the intake. Almost forgot, you gotta remove your throttle cable. You don't want that getting ripped out of the car when the engine comes down. Just lay that over there. Alright, I think we're done up here at top. We're gonna move underneath the car and take loose everything else down there. I'm just gonna touch on some things underneath. I might not get a video of everything, every bolt underneath the car, but once you get your transmission drained, you're going to want to take your drive shaft out. So I'm going to get these 4 nuts off here. Then on my car I have a relocated torque arm bracket. I'm going to undo the torque arm and then drop the cross member out with these 4 bolts. Take the shifter loose. And I'm probably going to have to take the exhaust loose. Alright, now we got the cross member out of there. We got the exhaust loose. I'm going to work that out of here in a minute, but drive shaft is out, cross member's out, pan's drained. Next, we're going to take the starter out because there's some wiring on the starter that's going to stay hooked to the car whenever we drop the K member out. Alright, we're going to take a break. We're going to go to the barbecue truck. Say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
I want it, you know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a...
Alright, now time to take the struts loose. To get to these two, to get to this one bolt right here, you'll have to remove the master cylinder and pull it out of the way to get to that one bolt for this strut, but the other side's fine. Okay, I'm taking the tires off so I can run these coilovers down so I can get them out of the strut area. Then that'll make it easier to roll the K-member out if you're not having to fight those struts. And while you're here, go ahead and unplug your ABS sensor. We're about ready to drop everything out of the car. I got 3 of these rollers set up, 1 underneath the trans and 2 underneath the K-member. And I'm going to lower the body onto those, undo the K-member, raise the body back off of the K-member engine, and roll everything out. The key to this is getting the car as low as you can to get on those rollers. That way you don't have to raise the body as high to clear the top of the motor whenever you come out with everything. Don't forget your steering shaft bolt like I just did. Anyways, back to pulling this thing out. Also, don't forget to disconnect your alternator right here. It's pretty easy to get to once you start dropping this down. And then if you have the ground bolt right there on the block, don't forget about it. Alright, that's it. That's how you get the engine out through the bottom on your garage floor. Now I'm going to get the heads off here and send them off to machine shop. And then get the torque converter out, send it off to Circle D for them to convert it to a triple disc. And then we'll be going back in with the new motor.